You're tuned into Expresso here on SABC3 on this feel-good Thursday morning. Now, approaching Tata Madiba's funeral this weekend, many in the country still feel the loss of the father of our nation quite deeply, whether personally or in their homes or as a community. There's no real normal and expected period of time for mourning, and the manifestations of grief and sadness vary from person to person. And this morning, we are joined by Fransa about how to cope with feelings of grief and loss at this time. Fransa, very nice to have you with us. And, you know, it's been so nice to see everyone pulling together, because as South Africans, we like to celebrate. We like to celebrate the life of someone, you know, that we've lost, but that celebration still accompany feelings of grief.
Absolutely.
Now, unpack a little bit for us. Grief, exactly, what is it, and how can one recognize that you actually are grieving? What can it do to your body?
You know, it's interesting that you mention that, because the last bit where you say, what can it do to your body? Because we don't always realize that your emotional state is very much linked to your body, to the physical part of you. And when you're grieving and you're going through a process of helplessness, you're helpless. There's nothing you can do about the situation. Feelings of anxiety, feelings that can even go into depression. You're actually also affecting the physical body over a long, if it carries on for a long period of time.
I don't think people realize that.
No, and that is why often those feelings can end up going into depression, and if you don't go and see somebody that can counsel you and help you through it, or go speak to your doctor that could maybe give you some medication for that period of time, you can fall into a state of depression.
Also, you don't really want to use
you don't want to go there. That is why I'm saying you need to understand that also people tend to battle to sleep during a period of grief. Often people find they can't sleep well. And a lack of sleep affects your immune system over a period of time. And if you suffer from a chronic illness and you are compromising your immune system, you can actually worsen the condition that you're suffering from. All starting with grief, because that is very real, and it really has an impact on the physical part of a person.
And of course, that being said, it is very necessary to take that time to grieve to mourn.
The best medicine for anybody that is going through a period of grief is time, social support, but also very important to take care of yourself, to look after yourself. Often people are so overcome by their emotions that you don't even feel like eating. You know, but it's important to still look after the physical body. So you need to, even if you're not hungry and you feel you don't have an appetite, you need to eat lots of little snacks during the day.
So keep the diet in order.
Absolutely.
Talk about your feelings, all of those. Over-the-counter kind of remedies that maybe can help alleviate grief. Is there anything?
Definitely. We have medication. It's mostly herbal combinations. Your valerian root, passiflora, that we can give to any patient over the counter. That will help with the anxiety, because the anxiety is usually what causes the sleeplessness and would eventually, over a long period of time, end up in depression. So that relieves mild anxiety. It also helps you to sleep better at night. We also have homeopathic remedies that really work very well for that. So the initial stages, again, I want to emphasize that the initial stages of grief, you can come to any Pick n Pay pharmacy, speak to our pharmacists, and get something that is natural that can help you, just assist you. But should it continue for weeks and weeks after, you have to go and seek go see your doctor and get some professional help with a psychologist, etc.
Brilliant. Fransa, thank you so much. Some really great advice there from Fransa, especially during this time of mourning and celebration. But if you do recognize those symptoms or feelings of grief, you can always go speak to your Pick n Pay pharmacist, and they will advise the best way of carrying forward and get you on top form again.